Nagapattinam, a small coastal town in Tamil Nadu's eastern portion, was one of the busiest and popular natural seaports in the ancient period. Today, it is a major fishing hub in the southern India. The Dutch carried out their trading through this port, which eventually became one of the trading ports of the Dutch VOC. A new fort was built over the ruins of the Portuguese fort. A cemetery called Karikopp was formed south of the fort. Karikopp, meaning churchyard, came to be called as Karikopp today. One of the tomb structure here has the oldest surviving dome of the Coromandel Coast's Dutch heritage. The cemeteries are the only tangible heritage sites that are left to remind us of the life and death of Dutch people who served in the VOC.
I'm Sakthi Murugan, a heritage conservation architect from Thanjavur. The approach to heritage conservation in India differs from what is happening outside. In most of the European countries, when it comes to heritage, it is more of preservation. But in India, since it is a continuous living heritage, there is a lot of reconstruction and renovation that are happening. For example, if we take up a religious space, there you have a deity and you have the person who has created the deity. The importance is obviously for the deity here in India. The person who had created that always takes the backstage. One of the important factors that we decided was to intervene as minimum as possible, and we wanted to work on things that were at most necessary. We didn't want to make the place pretty. We wanted the place to sustain. The first time when we saw the tomb and the obelisk, there was huge amount of vegetation outgrowth which had literally dislodged many parts of the tomb and the obelisk. The vegetation had deep roots going into the buildings, and that had caused some major portions to dislodge from the main structure. So we had to very carefully use manual methods to remove the roots and the vegetation parts. Through this conservation project, we had provided opportunities for the local people to participate and get benefited out of it. For example, the civil laborers, the masons, the temple sthapatis, the local engineer. The Prime College, which is a nearby architecture college, they came and they helped us out with the documentation. We used lime mortar or lime plaster. We used combination mortar as well, where we used cement as a stabilizing agent, and then we used pure cement plaster and cement mortar at some places where there was already extensive cement patchwork or cement masonry. most of the dismantled bricks were cleaned and reused for the construction. The figurines on all the four surfaces of the tomb, they had lots of damage to the faces and to the overall body parts. So we weren't able to actually make out what or how exactly they would have looked. We went to do some research on the archives, and we also looked at the hatchments in the church. But later on, we decided that the traditional masons or the temple sthapatis whom we have employed to work, we let the local sthapatis to take a conventional approach. This project is in the final stages. It's not yet complete. We see heritage conservation as a tool for bringing up positive change, progressive change in the people and the place. So this was the first funerary heritage that we had actually worked upon, and this is going to be a very memorable one for us.